wanted to give me a numb peering.
Yeah, let's go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it's the 9th episode of Meet the Streamer, where we ask some great streamers of the community our questions, and the community's questions most of all, and get them answered, more or less thoroughly. Today, or tonight, whatever time zone you're in, we are joined by the wonderful Mystique Siren. Would you say hello to the people?
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Okay, and our second guest tonight is hello, hi there, nice to have you here.
Heyo.
So, girls, first question I have for you tonight is because director's cut is coming soon to us. Of course, it was delayed a little bit, but it's understandable why. So, I want to ask you, what is the one thing you're looking most forward in the upcoming DLC?
Who's
going
first?
To both. You choose. Okay, hello, you can go first.
Okay,
Mirror.
I'm gonna go. I'm not surprised. All right. For honestly, I'm really excited for the Psycho skins. Like the COV skins are so cool, and I can't wait to see if they add any new weapons either. Those are gonna be kind of interesting to see how they balance in.
I definitely. So obviously everybody's excited for the raid boss, but I am super excited for vault cards. I've been wanting daily and weekly challenges for a very, very long time. So vault cards is kind of a big thing that I am looking forward to because give us more challenges, more content, and it's something that's going to be revolving and changing every week. So I think that's going to be pretty awesome. I'm excited.
All right. And out of what do you think about the raid boss? Because I know that's one thing that community is most excited for, like this most discussed content for the DLC. What's your opinions on it?
A lot of people are, some people are skeptical about it. Some people are like, oh, I'm gonna go in and one shot it. You gotta remember they're doing a huge patch on the 18th. A huge patch that could literally take out anything that could one shot that raid boss. So I'm going to go in there with no expectations. I'm gonna just go in there and hope that it steps on me and kills me in one shot. Like that's
Yes.
like raid boss, please step
Yes.
on me.
Yes.
Like that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing is going in there just to see like I have so much iridium, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to waste it all. But I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to be like, okay, figure out what's going on, how to kill it, die a lot, and then make a build based on that. So.
Okay. I have one more question for you because you both have so many hours put into the game. So tell me, what was your most memorable run? Like any kind of some challenge kind of run or some allegiance run. What was the most memorable and most fun you did so far on one character, and what was the goal?
You first, Mystique.
God, okay. Yeah, I do a lot of challenge runs and allegiance runs. So in Borderlands 3, I've done a lot of allegiance runs, but I've done quite a few challenge runs as well. And my most memorable challenge run that made me want to pull my hair out was my garbage only run Amara. I called her Garbage Day Amara. And I legitimately could not pick up any loot unless it was from trash piles, garbage cans, poop piles, toilets, refrigerators. I did allow myself the red porta potties, but once could not farm them. I wasn't allowed to farm them. So I went all the way through Mayhem 10 trying to find trash legendaries. And most of them were very much trash legendaries because it was before a lot of these buffs happened. It was excruciating for the most part. That was my most memorable for sure.
My most memorable challenge was probably it wasn't really necessarily a challenge, but it was when the yellow cake first came out. I was messing around with it, and I was kind of on a character that I was sort of doing a one life with, and I didn't really know how the yellow cake worked yet, and I accidentally killed myself with the splash damage. It was quite unfortunate.
I play as Amara. I always kill myself with splash damage.
Especially with, an atom bomb deathless.
Hmm.
It was very rough. Learned that day. Atom bomb is overpowered, but it's fine.
Oh dear, that sounds like a horrible run to a horrible end to a very great run. Not
It
that
was a
way around.
very great run, but yes, fortunate.
Hopes are always shattered when one life ends. I noticed one all too well. But those were very like creative answers, and creative answers beget creative questions. So my next question for you too is, what's one thing you could say about your gun in Borderlands 3, but not your significant other?
No.
I didn't see this question. Oh no.
I actually can come up with an answer for this one.
For Mystique Siren, I'm already seeing like I found this one in a garbage pile. From based on the last question.
That's good, actually.
I can't take this one anymore. Sorry.
Ugh.
Ola, you want to go first because you know what you're gonna say. You already have this look on your
man.
face.
This was one of the questions that we weren't quite sure of. Let's see. The weapons in Borderlands are more balanced than my significant other.
Okay.
That makes any sense at all? It'll make sense to people who it'll make sense to. But yeah, that's probably what I could say about my weapons in Borderlands.
I mean, if you can stand on one leg, you're probably more balanced than anything you can see in Borderlands 3. So.
I say a lot of things to my guns that I'm using, like, why won't you fucking kill this thing? And why are you so underpowered?
Oh.
So it has to be something like that I would be yelling at the gun. Probably be yelling at the gun. So pretty much anything that I yell at the gun, I probably wouldn't be able to say to my significant other.
Amazing. Well,
Yeah.
great that I caught everyone so off guard with this.
Yeah, you did, 100%.
Yeah, you did.
So maybe moving on to like probably a lot easier question that isn't like catching everyone like that. Which is, what other FPS elements would you like to see introduced in Borderlands 3? Like, we've seen a lot. Like, imagine a DLC came out today and they're like, okay, new thing, do it.
Like, you mean element like element? Or
like
corrosive fire shock?
Like, for example,
element.
yes.
I actually
wall running, for example.
I have an answer if it's okay, Mystique.
You go ahead.
And this is actually answers two different questions, which I realized once I was reading through them. I would really love to see a crafting system put into Borderlands. It's already kind of halfway there, right? Whenever you go into the when you inspect your weapon and you go and look at each weapon part, it tells you what each weapon part does. That's already half the crafting system right there. So I would really like to see that in the game. Honestly, it'd be cool to be able to piece all of your weapons together, take them apart, go and find certain weapon parts. Like the crafting system we were teased way back when. It'd be really great to see if they would make that a thing again.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. A lot of games have crafting systems and they work really, really, really well.
Do.
And I think I totally agree. I think it would work really well with Borderlands.
Because especially that parts are also important because parts already affect the guns, right?
Right.
So is there anything else you would like to add? You can like think of any other FPS game that you played before, and if you found something fun, it's like kind of mode of game, because we got the Arms Race that is like totally a new mode for the game. So if there could be any new mode like this introduced.
Yeah. Also, like, for example, last time we asked these questions, like there was like some similarities taken to Titanfall, because people played MOS and be like, hey, it would be cool to have just call her mech down like a Titanfall, or have some like idea of some simple concept of wall running, like adding more velocity to the game. So like anything goes really. You can also just say add a fishing minigame.
Maybe
I'm sure some FPS game has a fishing element.
Maybe like, so maybe like I don't know if this would be possible, but I certainly enjoy mayhem modes. Um, I mean, some of the modifiers kind of not so much, but how cool would it be if you literally started at level 1 on mayhem, like, and you went through the whole story just literally like started a brand new character on mayhem.
Oh.
How crazy would that be? Because you'd be getting all kinds of stuff. You'd be getting like you'd be getting so many legendaries right off the bat, and it would be a way bigger challenge too.
Yeah, it might be
so,
even
like,
better than UVHM, right? Because people barely go
Yeah.
into UVHM right now in Borderlands 3.
yeah, nobody does.
Yeah, kind of true. I think that would be
Yeah.
actually a better thing. Like after you finish the game, right? Then you can unlock instead of unlocking UVHM, you unlock the Mayhem from level 1 if you want. Yeah, that could be something fun.
Might be fun. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Okay, I have a question now, a little bit less about Borderlands, a little bit more about you. So we would like to know, what is the story behind your profile pictures and your names?
I guess I'll go first. Okay.
Okay.
So my name originated from an anime actually called Spice and Wolf. The name of the main character of that anime is Holo. She is like a literal deity, just reincarnated as a wolf, essentially. And most of the inspiration from more or less the majority of my channel is like different animes. So that's kind of where all of my everything is from. It's just pulled from different animes of different types. So yeah, that's the story of my name and my profile picture.
So a lot of people know this a little bit already, but so Mystique is, I do love X-Men, and she is my favorite, I guess, anti-hero slash superhero. With X-Men, they've completely rebooted it so many times. So she could be anti-hero, she could be superhero, who knows? But she is definitely my favorite comic book and movie alike, doesn't matter. And I obviously main Sirens pretty much in any Borderlands game that I play in. So I just took my two favorite things and I made it into a name, and there it was. And then my profile pic is just me with my crazy hair. So, and it's actually a GIF. I actually made my profile pic. It's actually a GIF, or GIF if some people out there call it a GIF.
That's a GIF.
It's not.
We're
yeah,
good with
not-
both.
not
We're
GIF.
good with both. Don't worry.
I'm not good with both. You maybe.
Yeah, no, I call it a GIF. So so it actually like is a galaxy rotating in my hair, so which is pretty cool. But you can't see it in my profile pic because it can't be moving because I don't have the special things.
I was like, when are you gonna live your dream and make that your actual hair?
I know, right?
One day.
I wish. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Okay, so I have another question for you, because you both stream for quite a bit of time. So we would like to know, who inspired you to stream? Who was like your mentor in the streaming?
Dear. Mystique, you go first.
Okay, so I had always wanted to stream. I lived way out in the boonies, and had the worst internet known to man. So, or woman. And I was like, I want to get started in this, so I want to like find people to watch and whatnot. And at that point, I was playing Destiny a lot, lots of Destiny. So I went into the Destiny community and I found tons of people. I found a lot of both genders, men, women. King Thalion, Professor Broman, Shifty5, Mav Show, Miss Team KK. The first person actually that I ever subbed to was used to be Leah Loves Chief, but it's Leviathan now. And she was just so amazing. Like, she just inspired the ever living crap out of me to just want to do what she did, and she was just so chill about it and so nonchalant about streaming, and she did so well at it, and I wanted to share my passion for what games I like to play in the same way she did.
So it's basically everything that Mystique said about her mentor, her stream mentor, except for mine is is someone who is also part of the D2 community, but has also been a part of Fortnite, Escape from Tarkov, so on and so forth. The person who got me into streaming and who really pushed me to want to create a community where everybody could feel like themselves and feel safe in was actually Dr. Lupo. I've been a big fan for a long time, and the way he handles his stream and does all of the charity work for St. Jude, and just you go in his stream and you just feel like you can just exist. And I want people to come into my stream and not feel obligated to talk or chat or feel a certain way. I just want them to exist. And that's kind of where, yeah. So that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Great answers all around. Like, doesn't even matter. Like, if you come like from a very humble background, have like a long backstory with like who got you into streaming. What counts at the end of the day is that they got you into it, and now you're doing it, and
Now you're here with
success.
us.
And you're here with us. I mean, the honor. This is the absolute honor. Just please think about it. No, I'm just kidding. Moving on, talking about favorites, because we've touched on the subject with the first two questions. I was wondering, which is your favorite skill tree and why? Whoever wants to go first can go first.
Yes, we can just take turns.
Yeah. How are you?
Take turns.
So, is this general Borderlands 3? What is our
You
favorite
can
skill
just
tree?
limit it to Borderlands 3 if that's easier
Okay,
for you,
sure.
but you can also
Yeah.
like take the other games. You can take Tales if you like skill trees from there.
Yeah. So, like I said, again, I love playing as the Sirens. Amara's, Ties That Bind, Phase Grasp, Eternal Fist, like the whole red tree in Amara's, like is just amazing. It's so powerful. And I just love taking a group of enemies and literally turning them just into like just exploding them. It's great, and you could do that with that skill tree. And I'm a big fan of elements in the Borderlands games, so I was a huge fan of like Maya and her Cataclysm tree in 2, and that's kind of, I feel very at home with Amara with her red tree. So
Can we just not be the same person right now? That'd be really great. Mystique.
Yeah, we
I
can be the
really
same person, it's
appreciate
fine.
some variety here. Like, this is needing a little bit more than
You're
just
allowed to
the
have the
tree,
same
okay?
answer.
yeah.
You're allowed to have the same answer.
So, it's actually really funny because my answer is the same. I am a really big fan of Ties That Bind. I am also a Siren main. Have been since I started playing Borderlands 2. Big fan of Maya. Her Catalysm tree is amazing. Her Harmony tree was but you know, doing lots of damage is quite fun. Because I am a Deathless main, the red tree and Ties That Bind just flows really, really well with all the radiation. So,
Yep.
yeah, two
Yup.
peas, one pod. It'd be like that.
Yeah, and like, I mean, if we consider how many people actually play Borderlands 3, there has to be some overlap. Like,
Mhm.
of course, there will be people who like the same things, and we had this before. Like
Especially
not
Amara.
exactly with the skill trees, but like with people being like agreeing on the same thing. Like, okay, yeah, that's right.
Stealing each other answers, let's be honest.
Yeah, like serving each other their answers. And so yeah, really no shame in that. Like, we accept all answers. There are no wrong answers here except for Flag Purple Tree. So
You have to. You have to. Every time. Okay.
I'm sorry. I like Gearbox. Did I make the tree bad? I don't think so. Anyways, moving on. Another favorite question, but this time with a small twist. What is your most and least favorite part of Borderlands, the entire concept?
Olive's first this time.
Let's go
Okay.
first.
So my most favorite part of Borderlands, this is just 3 your entire franchise.
You can say entire franchise because
Okay.
like Borderlands in itself has evolved, but like the main idea is still the same.
My most favorite thing is definitely the guns. Like, when you put a weapon in my hand in Borderlands, I should feel like I can do something with it, regardless of what Vault Hunter I'm playing. When the weapons are balanced, it feels so good because you could just literally go in, not have any skills, turn off your Guardian rank, not have anything, and just deal damage. And I kind of miss that, I'm not gonna lie, which leads me into my next part of it. My least favorite part about Borderlands right now is some of the skill trees in the Vault Hunters and like how mayhem scaling is affecting certain skills while other Vault Hunters aren't getting the same love. And that really frustrates me in that aspect because I feel like instead of changing the guns and nerfing them or buffing them, we really need to focus more on what skills need to be addressed and which Vault Hunters need to be toned down. So yeah, that's my least and most favorite things about Borderlands.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I as well. I think when Arms Race came out, I was very, very excited about Arms Race because it was all about the guns and the gunplay at that point. Because we had gotten away from, using guns. You could literally walk into a room and just absolutely explode everything with your action skill, and you didn't need guns at that point. So because in Borderlands 1, if you think about it, Borderlands 1 was very gunplay heavy and very low end on the action skill. Like you kind of use your action skill to like get out of some stuff and whatnot. You mainly relied on guns in Borderlands 1. Borderlands 2, you relied on a little bit of both at that point. But Borderlands 3, it seems like most people rely on action skills, not really guns at this point. They may hold a gun in their hand, but they're literally only holding a gun in their hand to get an anointment or whatever. So I think I very much agree with Hollow on that because like it's
obvious.
There's so much that could be done with guns, and there's so many guns in normal mode that just
many.
Oh my god, they're so good. But then you get into mayhem mode and you're just like, what happened to this gun? You're like, what happened with this stupid gun that I was exploding people's heads with in normal mode? And so I think that they definitely need to work on balancing issues, not buffs, not nerfs, balancing issues, transitioning from normal into mayhem. And so I think that's like that kind of like least favorite thing. I think my most favorite thing for like is the fact that there's so much variety that you can do though. So you can, if you want to do a melee build, you can if you want to do an all gun build or allegiance run and not have to rely on your action skill. There is the ability to sit there and destroy things with guns or destroy things with action skills. So I think it's kind of like the same. It's my least favorite thing and my favorite thing. But they just need to find a good balance between the two.
Yeah, I think the versatility of the Borderlands franchise is like one of the returning subjects here because people can go to different Vault Hunters, different kind of goals in the game. Some play for the just the end game, some play for breaking the game, so just want to learn the story. And there's always something for everyone, for those who prefer speedrunning and those who want to enjoy story fully. So I have another question for you. This one is, again, a bit more creative for you. So if you could make a new manufacturer that is your own manufacturing company, what would be its unique gimmick?
Oh man. So I'm a big fan of talking guns, but talking guns are kind of spread around because you got to sell out and then you got some TDR guns, and my gimmick would be the kind of remember the Bane in Borderlands 2? It just screamed at you and then it also made you real slow. I love the gun, but I hated the fact that it made me slow. So I would just make a manufacturer that literally just screams at you or screams at the enemies, but it's tailored to what you're doing at the time. So if you're throwing it, if it's a TDR, you throwing it, you yeet it, and it's going yeet, and so it would be tailored to whatever you're doing. So if you're melting someone's face, then it's gonna have a line that's "Get melted, bitch," or something like that. I don't know, but it would literally just be tailored to whatever you're doing and how you're killing them at the time. And it would just be a lot of really awesome creative insults. Like bitch waffle, or calling someone a bitch waffle. Yeah, just something of the sort. I think that's what my gimmick would be.
What I'm thinking about here, maybe it should also do some like motivational messages when you're like
True,
got
yeah,
killed.
to
like,
lift
like
you
know,
up too.
like it's your personal new use station sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
like
oh,
it,
how about and if you like have like a cross legendary where it's like crossed with a different manufacturer, it makes advertisements for that manufacturer.
that would be awesome.
Um,
Yeah, like it would like
I love
every
the idea.
other, it would like take turns. It would insult like either you or the enemy that you're killing, but then it would also be like, oh, you'll get him next time, bud.
Come next time. Oh gosh. So this is
Maybe
actually.
try using more bullets.
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought you were supposed to
Oh,
use
yeah.
less though. That's what the sniper would tell you in Borderlands 2, right? You're using too many bullets.
Well, if it
Mhm.
took more than one bullet, it wasn't a Jacobs to begin with, so I don't know what you're talking
Right.
about.
It wasn't the Jacobs.
And it's true. This is actually one of the questions that kind of stumped me a little bit last night. And my answer ended up coming up with, so my brand is basically uwu now, right? So I have to think of something that's happier or just makes you think of happier times. So all of my weapons would shoot bubbles, like the gun in the bathhouse in DLC 3. If you did the side quest, you got it. And it would all be different elements, all of them. But inside the bubbles, elemental clouds would exist. So if it was like radiation, there'd be like yellow smoke rolling around in the bubble, or if it was shock, there'd be like lightning going across the bubble. Corrosive, it'd just be like just green clouds, and it would burst and do excessive splash damage and just do massive amounts of elemental damage. That would
I like that.
probably be my
like
weapon gimmick.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd play
Give me
that.
that. I want that. I want
I'd
that. I
play
want the
that.
elemental.
So yeah, I'm obsessed with splash damage and radiation, and it was literally the only gun that came to mind that I really, really liked and I thought would fit.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun. Like both of them, because the Borderlands both have manufacturers that are good with like dealing a lot of damage and being actually good ones, and some of like making so much meme guns. And I think that's the both parts that make Borderlands so much fun game. Okay, I have another question for you because so far the discussion about this was very, very mixed. So what was your first impression on Borderlands 3 story? And how do you feel it could be improved? If you could, for example, change something in the main story, don't talk about DLC right now, because we all know DLC is great compared to the main story. But if you could change something to make it better, what would you do?
I suppose it's my turn.
Sure.
Yes. I already have my answer too. I'm like, yeah.
I was about to. So my first impression of the Borderlands 3 story, I really liked it. I loved it. I didn't like, and I would change, the fact that we don't have a whole lot of backstory on our main antagonists, the Calypso twins. I really wish that when we had gone to Necrotafeo, we had gotten more. Like, besides the one little echo log, Like, if we're going to their home world, why is there not more information about them and what they did, how they came into their powers? Like, what was Tyrene's reaction to first realizing that she was a leech, and how did her day-to-day life with her brother, who had to literally live off of her, conspire, and just like how all of that happened? I would really love to see in the future maybe a DLC about them, just about them. I think that'd fill in a lot of blanks for a lot of people about the Calypso twins just in general. So yeah, that's my answer.
My answer has to do with them as well. So a little different though. So I did really like the story. I would actually swap roles though, with who, spoiler alert, with who dies first. I would actually make it to where Tyrene, when you fight Troy, that Troy ends up killing his sister by leeching her all the way, and that you actually have to end up fighting Troy again later on down the road. I would have preferred that than having to deal with Tyrene.
I like the switch too. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Troy actually didn't even want to leave Necrotafeo. There's the one echo log where Troy's like, Tyrene, like
Mhm.
I don't want to leave Dad.
It's
Like
that one. It's that one
he
epilogue.
literally has a conscience, and he actually could have been and I actually really liked him as a character, even though he killed my favorite person. Like I still liked him more than I liked Tyrene. Um, I think it was just his, like, he had just way better charisma. Like when he's like face look out of nowhere, like you just laugh at like his
His
lines.
one-liners were better. His one-liners were
one-liners
so much better than
were so
Tyrene,
good.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like if they would have just swapped the kind of like the roles, not necessarily the roles, but swapped the deaths, you know.
You know what? Like on Eden 6, they start to like argue with each other and fight with each other a little bit. You do side quests there. So what if Troy accidentally caused that Tyrene would die because of their fight? So like, you know, they start to be like very against each other, and then if Tyrene died, if Troy stayed, like how much his character would change, because he would probably be driven by guilt and also like anger that he would blame Vault Hunters for that. How much this would help develop his character also, because he was already on the way to develop character and then he dies, so we can't really get to know him better.
Yeah, and he dies. Oh man, he just. I mean, I don't feel like his. I didn't like his death, because you just go in there and you kill him and he's dead. Like it's just
That's it, nothing
like,
else.
Yeah, I wish there was more with Troy. So we just need to get the
general.
Yeah, we just need to get the Mitsu Typhon de Leon mini game, the platformer. We need to get the Typhon de Leon platformer game, like the side scroller where he's going around with his whip and he's telling stories to his kids, and that would be the backstory that you want, Hollow. So
it would be. I actually saw exactly what you're talking about, and I agreed 100% with that tweet.
Mitsu mentions it every week
every time. Oh, every time.
Yeah, even complete strange. Like he would just walks up to people on the street, like, "Hey, you want to hear about like my side scroller Tevin the Liam project?"
Yeah, do you want to hear about my idea for a game? Yeah, he
Pulls
would.
like
it really saved the story of Borderlands 3. Sir, who are you?
You got no cards.
Yeah.
No, but like I really have to agree on the Troy part. Like I really liked how like he developed his character on Eden 6 as well. How like he kind of like started like the gears started turning in his head very creakingly. How he has been like being used, even though he has been the leech, but he could be so much more. And like the conflict, the drama. It was so good. It was so good, and it's the untimely end he didn't deserve.
Yeah, we need a Snyder cut. We need a Snyder cut of Borderlands 3.
Totally.
You know what I'm talking about? You guys know what Snyder cut of like Justice League?
Yeah,
You know
like
how it's, like,
I wouldn't even be mad. I wouldn't even be mad if like Troy kills
Like-
Tyrene there, but then goes like somehow like mad god status, because he just goes.
Yeah.
He's so wrecked with guilt that he just goes mad from grief, and then just
And
blames
then-
all of us for that.
and
he's
then
like, okay, if
Typhon-
I can have my sister, no one can.
And then Typhon like tries to like talk sense into him, so we get more story with Typhon. You know,
Yeah,
that would be so great. It'd be
Also,
awesome.
yeah, and then like heroic death with Typhon, who kills, like throws himself with Troy off of a cliff. And
Yes. Oh god, yeah.
how would the bandits react to Tyrene's death? Because they
Oh.
when you think about it, they are more fixated on her beauty and the fact that she is really the only person who has ever been like welcome home, essentially. Like how would that affect the bandits, and how would that affect Troy's ability to be able to control and lead the bandits the same way Tyrene did?
I see like two ways from it. I see like two ways from it. So one thing I think that would happen is that Troy would, like, as we said, the status of this god, right? He would like go so crazy the Cove would start to fear him, and out of fear they would obey him. And other way is Troy is losing Tyrene, and he's also losing the grasp on the Cove. So they like kind of follow him, kind of do their own agenda, and don't really listen to him. So that drives him even more pissed, because he kept no control over anything in his life. His sister is dead, the Cove is rebelling. So I think both things would be like great continuing for the story.
Yes, either or would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Definitely, like if Tyrene were to die, then she would be seen as a martyr, and Troy switching sides, or like even like turning into his own thing, would be like seen as like some kind of antichrist in that scenario. So like this can be developed so hard. Like we could sit here for like 5
We could
more
stay for
hours and
hours.
just write our own Snyder Cut. But
Be
I'd
bad.
I'd say I'll just move on, even though like this topic was very interesting, into like a question to the both of you again, because I'm wondering actually what got you into Borderlands in the first place. Like what got you into Borderlands? What made you end up here now talking about Troy and his untimely demise?
So Borderlands started with the first Borderlands with me. I worked for GameStop. I worked in video game retail, and I was allowed to take games home and try them out. And I literally saw the case on the wall one day at work, and I was like, this game looks cool. I was like, there's a guy shooting himself in the head. That's neat. I'm gonna take this home and try it. And I did. I went home and I tried it. I actually ended up buying it. I actually didn't even take it home and try to just try it. I actually ended up buying it because I was like, there's no way that this isn't good. Because I like sat there and I watched a video online for it. I watched the trailer for it. I did my research while I was at work, and then I was like, no, I'm just gonna buy this. And so I bought it, took it home, and I think I stayed up all night playing it. And I was like, how is this game so good? And it hooked me. It grabbed me and hooked me, and I've been playing Borderlands ever since. And every single release, anything that they come out with, whether it be collectibles or collector's editions, I get it. So yeah, it was me.
My experience with Borderlands started actually in Borderlands 2. I didn't get to play video games a lot as growing up. I was the stereotypical, girls don't play games type thing in my family. So when I finally got out of that and broke away from that and was able to try games, Borderlands 2 was the first game I tried. And I tried it because I really liked the elemental aspects of the game itself. I had never seen anything in any other shooter that I had seen be played before. Most of it was like COD and stuff, so you don't really see that kind of thing in those games. And the colors, the physics, the way the bodies would ragdoll, it's just all of it. It was all just almost a sensory overload to someone who was not exposed to a lot of video games growing up. It was worth it in the end, though. It was definitely worth it because I'm absolutely in love. Every game that even Gearbox produces, they might not have any hand in the development whatsoever, and if they're producing it, I'm gonna take a look at it and see if it's worth it. Because so far, everything I've ever done through Borderlands, Risk of Rain 2, I'm pretty sure it was also published by Gearbox. Super fun.
Did you try We Happy Few?
No, I
yeah,
want to
you
get
should.
excited for that, but
You're
I
gonna
haven't
love
tried
it.
it yet.
You're
Got
gonna love
to.
Oh dear,
Oh,
apparently I do. All right,
it's so
heard.
good.
Going on the wish list now.
Yes,
Very
100%. You have to try We Happy Few.
The spring sale's just around the corner, then comes
think
summer
it's-
sale, then comes autumn sale, then it's
Yeah,
Christmas sale.
I think it's Insomniac. I think is it Insomniac
sure.
and Gearbox.
Not
I
sure.
think. I don't know.
I haven't
Oh,
tried
It's
it,
been a
wow.
while
to be
since I played
honest.
it, but you need to play it. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Heard.
So big too. It's like huge. The world is ginormous.
It looks. I mean, it's a $60 game. It looks massive. Yeah.
Yeah, wait for it to go
Alright.
on sale. But yeah, good game.
Cool. Good deal. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
On that note, Holo, you were mentioning like sensory overload from Borderlands in general when you started playing it because you haven't been exposed to much video games. Like, have there been many days with headaches when you first started playing Borderlands, or has this been gone totally unnoticed for you?
Well, in Borderlands 2, the headaches were on and off here and there. The introduction of radiation, specifically that one, you guys know that one Moxie build, that involves the root. Yeah, that one that has the epilepsy warning on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that basically nullified everything. I don't get headaches. Thanks to radiation and massive explosions and stuff. I just eventually it kind of just like didn't happen, and then I also learned about monitor brightness and adjusting the contrast and so on and so forth. So that really helps too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bright games can be rough sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine, and like especially if you're not used to it. Like, I mean, when I started Borderlands 3, I like, yeah, this was like the best 2 days of my year in my life. But I've been used to it. So when I started Borderlands 2, it was like, yeah, just another game, and I kind of want to imagine how that's been for someone who has not had like background in video games, who had not started with like a Game Boy in like black and white playing Pokemon Red when he was 4.
I
So
remember Pokemon.
yeah,
now.
this is just like interesting knowledge for me. Anyways, moving on. Another very, very creative questions. I'm sure you both saw that and want to answer that. If you had a loot explosion when you died, what would it contain?
Oh,
What
whose turn
would
is it?
contain?
I don't even know whose turn
I
it is.
think you
Sorry.
wait
go
for
first.
fans'
Just go
favorite.
first.
Okay,
Oh.
so my like currency and my like kind of like theme with some of my emotes is waffles. So like waffles would explode from me. Probably Red Bull.
Ah, yes. What flavor?
Because I do drink quite a bit of Red Bull. I try to drink not as much Red Bull, but and then probably curse words, just random like terrible things would just fly
So
out of.
a fucking waffles will explode out of
Yes,
you, huh?
yeah, it would
Okay.
just like fuck this, fuck that would just be flying everywhere. And oh man, what else? What else? Ah, I don't even know. I don't even know now. Just probably like snacks. I love food.
Yes.
Like snacks are the way to my heart. Chocolate, just anything. So like, yeah, they would just like waffles, curse words, snacks, Red Bull, just it would be like a piñata.
Nice.
We might as well be the same person, Mystique.
Yeah.
At this point. So I had a couple of guns mixed in with mine, but my loot explosion would be the Borderlands 2 Hellfire. We must be very specific about that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Very
Yeah.
specific. I already figured them before.
The Hornet, both either from Borderlands 2, and I've been told in 3 is decent now endgame. Don't really know how
She's
true
pretty
that
good,
is.
actually. She's also nice to play.
It got a buff,
Perfect.
yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. I miss the Hornet. Those are my 2 favorite weapons. And then Red Bull, specifically Coconut Berry,
Ooh,
all-time
I've not had
favorite.
that one.
Ooh.
It is super good.
Ooh.
And if anybody here is familiar with an anime called Boruto, I am basically the real life Chocho, and my favorite snacks are chips. So, yeah, that's pretty much what my explosion would be.
My
Alright.
Red Bull would probably be peach.
Oh,
The
that one's a
peach
really good
the
one.
peach
Nice Red
nectarine.
Bull. Oh, I'm jealous.
The peach nectarine
You get them here
is
too.
really good.
You just need to visit.
I haven't
Yeah, bring them over next time you visit. Come on.
All right. We also got like bubble gum lately. It was. I didn't try it because that sounds too sweet to me.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
remember
about
when
that.
the gum was
I'm an absolute blueberry fan. Like the blueberry Red Bull is like the blue one is like my favorite.
it's so
But
good.
I also but I still try every flavor. I've like there's been watermelon has been
Yeah,
very
what-
good to see.
call me
Yeah,
boomer because I
watermelon
go
is
for
my
sugar
second
free.
favorite.
So
The watermelon's my second favorite.
I don't like the
Red Bull.
normal one though. I usually drink other energy drinks just for the energy drink taste. Still,
okay. Okay, I have a question for you because we have the upcoming movie from Borderlands. We get more and more cast announced. We still wait for the story, anything about the story to come up. So tell me, what are your opinions so far about the Borderlands movie, about the cast, about what it may be, and what do you think about this overall?
Oh dear. I'm interested to see specifically the more comedic actors' abilities to be able to capture characters for what they have been written as. Specifically, I'm really interested to see what Kevin Hart's performance of Roland is going to be like, because we all know Roland is very serious. He doesn't crack a whole lot of jokes, very military-like. And if anybody's seen Kevin Hart's stand-up comedy, it's hilarious. So I'm really interested to see the actors, all of the actors' abilities to perform their roles and really sell the character. That's what I am most looking forward to for the upcoming movie.
I mean, Kevin Hart had some roles that weren't comedic, so he can do it. With a lot of actors in past who played more, like for example, comedy all the time until they were had given a chance to play a more serious role. And
Yeah, I haven't seen many of his series ones, so I'm like really just, ooh, what's it gonna be like before
Yeah.
I watch any of the rest of it.
mhm,
Yeah. I would say if you want to see Kevin Hart in a more serious role, I think it's called The Upside.
mhm.
And with Bryan Cranston, and Bryan Cranston is like a quadriplegic. He got in an accident, and Kevin Hart's character is still a little funny, but it is a very serious role because he's a
Kevin
ex
Hart
I
is
think an
funny.
ex-convict, and he ends up like taking care of Bryan Cranston, and like doing everything for him and being his like aide. Um, and it's a very serious role, and it's a very, very good movie. And it kind of gives you that more serious side of Kevin Hart. For me, with this most recent announcement with I can't remember what her name was, but they casted her as
Oh.
somebody in Lilith's past, according to Randy Pitchford.
I think it was Haley's.
And I think that she is either going to be because some people say like but they couldn't maybe not be going in the direction of the comics, but somebody said that Lilith was like an orphan, blah blah, blah whatever, but they could be doing something completely different with the movie. So my guess is that it's either someone that maybe helped raise her, that was a siren, and that maybe they passed their powers on to Lilith, because we know that that can happen because of Maya to Ava.
Mhm.
And or it's her mother, and her mother passed on her, because she looks very much like Kate Blanchett,
Yeah,
like a
she
young
do.
Kate Blanchett.
Mhm.
I don't think she's young enough to do a child Lilith. It looks like a more of like a young adult teenage Lilith. So I mean, we could have that too, but like I said, I think I think it has something to do with like her upbringing and how she maybe got her powers and stuff like that. So I'm excited, because so that actually tells us a little bit, like we're either gonna get lots of backstory, we're gonna get flashbacks maybe.
Mhm.
But so far I think my favorite casting was Ariana Greenblatt for Tiny Tina, because if you've ever seen Love and Monsters, it's a newer movie. She's in it with Michael Rooker, and she's very kind of eccentric, like, and I think
Ooh.
she'll do Tiny Tina proud.
I haven't seen that one yet.
You need to. It's
You
so good.
should, you should. Okay, add it
It's
to the
very
list of things to do, you know, that you have the game, the
Yep.
movie to see.
No.
Now let's go to the book recommendations, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait for like the game based on the movie based on the game.
Yeah, I'm looking
That'd be
forward
great.
to see how the actors will perform and what kind of story we're gonna get. Okay, so back to more creative questions again. We had 2 takedowns, we had 1 arms race. So my question is, if there was a new takedown or new arms race introduced, what would you like it to see as theme wise? So for example, what kind of place could it happen, or what kind of, I don't know, type of enemy would show up? So like the next idea for takedown or arms race from you.
I would personally maybe like I want arms race, honestly, to have rotating bosses.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would bring people back to it, and honestly allow like or just maybe even a new map, like with a different boss.
Mm-hmm.
But I think rotating bosses would be something that would be great. I think that if we did another takedown, maybe get something like a Goliath, because with the Goliath, they rage and they transform. So I think that would be that would be a takedown that would be very interesting, because you'd have to be very careful about how you shoot that Goliath, or their head's gonna pop off and they're going to start raging. And they're gonna keep transforming. So I think like a Goliath, some type of like in-game boss Goliath takedown would be very interesting. So.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think this is really funny because I would really like to see a theme that was taken from Athenas. I really liked that area. I really liked that map. It was really pretty
Me
map.
too.
Visually pleasing all around. Like it didn't matter what you were looking at. It could be the ground, the sky, the just the surrounding, the freaking walls. I mean, were prettier than some of the things we've seen in Pandora. Wherever we go to the next one, whether it be Athenis or Eden 6 or maybe even Necrotofeo. It'd be cool to see something from Necrotofeo. I think I may or may not speak for many people when I say we're tired of looking at Pandora. We've had 4 games where it's been just a lot of brown and grayscale, and I think it's time to add more color into more of the side modes of the game. Like we want something pretty, you know? We don't want to run the same thing and not get loot that we know we're not going to get the 1,000 times that we run it, and just be surrounded by the same color 1,000 times again. And it's just be nice to have a little more visually.
I think Claptrap said it best when we were leaving Pandora. He called it a scorched armpit and said, "You can't hurt us anymore, Pandora."
And yet here
love
we
that
are,
line.
back to Pandora. Get
I
started
love,
again.
I love that line. I absolutely love that line. So good. Like, I died laughing when I heard that line. It was so good.
I mean, thinking about biomes, you know, not Borderlands. Pandora actually has like all the biomes. If you look at the DLCs from Borderlands 2, we have like a dried out beach. We have an oasis. We have like a jungle, another jungle. We have Santa's workshop. We have now the Stormblind complex. And we have now spaces where like Eldritch rituals take place. And then now in Borderlands we just have the same thing, just in different planets, which I would still appreciate, because like as long as Pandora is not the name of the place we're going, it's okay.
Yeah.
At this point, I think I must agree that like a lot of people are just very jaded about like going back to Pandora again. Like you should think about this like yes honey meme and this like blood of just hey, it's time to go back to Pandora, yes honey.
Pretty
We're
much.
going.
Also, like you said, in Borderlands 2, the DLCs and the Headhunter packs had different areas, different biomes. I really wish that they would have put that in Borderlands 3. Like, yes, we have to go back to Pandora, but make it to where we go to more places besides the desert areas in Pandora. Like, if they already have all of that, why not just, you know, just stick it in there?
Yeah.
It's already there. Just put it in. I don't know. Just
And,
change
like,
the coding.
You know, like
There-
looking at the map in 2, basically, if we just went up high enough, we should see these things on the horizon, even like
Exactly.
the woods, for example. Like they seem to be a little bit kind of inconsistent with these things. Then again, we're just gonna probably be like, yeah, the DLCs are non-canon. Just fuck you. You get no jungle on Pandora.
I think that so there's Eden 6, right? Well, that's the 6th planet of like there's more than one Eden. So we could have different Edens. So Eden 1, Eden 2, Eden 3, Eden 4. Because there was a psycho at one point. I remember seeing it. He had a tattoo on him that said Eden 23. No, like legit. Like I remember seeing it. I was just because like I was like, oh, look at all this guy's tattoos, and I was like looking at it and it said Eden 23, or it was some number, but it was like a high number, and I was like, wow, the fact that there could be literally all these different Edens.
Can we see that one day, please? That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd love it. I'd love
Yeah.
to see that.
Send me a
And
picture,
that would be
please.
your different like biomes. Like that would it would just be like those Edens would be different like environments. So Eden 6 is kind of a swampy, marshy like type area. So give us like, you know, just different
Unless all the other
things.
Edens used to be Edens and now they're more like Pandora, this could be also a thing. That's why they
True,
moved to another
yes.
Edens on the way.
Considering we know what the company did, which was, if I remember correctly, like a part of Jacobs at some point, I kind of worry about the other Edens. Actually, it's a good point.
Yeah. Also, like I could almost be convinced, if this is the case, that like one of the Edens is actually like the planet we're in, like DLC 3, because this is like has like this huge shake.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like
We-
two
you
great
mean
minutes,
same page,
nice
same
thing alike. Yeah, but you know, talking about like so many Edens, like if I think about like Eden 23, I think about like Borderlands 4 being just taking place on these Edens, and we're playing Super Mario Galaxy just with Vault Hunters. We're just jumping from Eden to Eden with like little stargates in between.
Just don't make me go down a tube. I'm fine.
It will happen, and you
Oh,
will not
no.
like it.
I don't like mushrooms. No, please.
moving on though. I was wondering, like, because we've talked a lot about Borderlands 3 and going back to like previous titles, who did you main in previous Borderlands games and why? And like a hard version of that question would be you can't say Maya in BL2.
Well,
Well,
I guess Mystique and I can't talk. Sorry.
We can't talk. Yep. Bye. See you later.
You
Take all your
literally
guns.
invited two
Thanks, that was
Siren
nice.
Queens on the show at the same time.
Okay, see you next time.
I mean, I could probably answer for the both of us. We played
Answer
Lilith, we played
sometime.
Maya, and
Yeah,
we played
okay.
Amara.
Yep. It's about right.
Maya
Yeah.
stat, get over it.
I mean,
So
Yeah,
what-
okay. So let's count Maya as well. Let's make it
Was
easy.
was there a why? Did you ask why as well? Like
Yeah,
why
it's
we
also
played-
why,
okay, alright.
who and why. Who and why basically in the games that came before. I guess you haven't played TPS then in one. Bloody shame.
I played TPS a little
I
bit.
have
TPS.
to. Don't like it. Sorry.
Um,
I played as Athena on that one.
I played as Nisha.
That's
I
also
really
good.
enjoyed whipping people's faces off. It was quite
That's true.
entertaining. But no, I mained Siren across any game that had a Siren in it.
Mhm.
They just their powers, their skills, they just seemed super cool. It was almost like getting to be a real life witch when you played a Siren. For most of people who know me, I love Harry Potter. I love witches, wizards, magic, and the Siren just really seems magical in that sense. And so it just drew me. Like phase locking people in the air, not allowing them to move is super cool to me. So I just immediately grabbed Maya in Borderlands 2. And if I had played more of Borderlands 1, I probably would have gone Lilith over Mordecai. If I'm going to be honest. But yeah. So Siren main
Mhm.
by default.
Yeah. Same. I mean, played as Lilith. The thing about Lilith is a lot of people wanted to play with Lilith. If you played with people and did co-op in Borderlands 1, a lot of people wanted someone to be a Lilith because she was fast. She could literally pop her action skill and
Oh,
run
yeah,
to a
cool.
save point or whatever and get you out of where we need to go, because we're now spoiled on fast traveling via the map and not having to actually run to
Fast
get to
travel
a
to the
fast travel
cars.
point. So what was it? The big canyon in Borderlands 1 where you go to fight Sled? No, maybe it wasn't Sledge. Somebody. And having to run back all the way through that just to get out of it sucked. So with Lilith, you could just phase walk and just run really, really fast, and it had a short cooldown. So, but Maya in 2, like I said, I absolutely loved her Cataclysm skill tree. It was just all the elements. You could literally slag, electrocute, ignite, and do every single element just by putting some points into Helios, capping that, and doing Diverge, and just sucks everything in, and it's amazing. So it was just about being super powerful, and it was one of the very first games that we could be a woman as a character, and it was a
That's
badass,
a good
powerful
point.
woman.
Mhm.
Like, it was so awesome, because I've played so many games growing up where it was like, well, you were forced to be a man, have fun. And I was like, I mean, it's fine, but like actually being able to like create your own character and be a woman, I was just like, yeah, let's go. So
Yeah, I guess like this representation comes a long way in that sense. And also what could be mentioned here is that like in none of the Borderlands titles the sirens, or like the female characters for that matter, are like pushed into any way of support role. Sure, you have res on Maya, and that is more than okay, but you're not like there's not like a whole skill to it. It's just about like, here you now heal, and you're now like this healing drone.
I
You
mean,
don't
even
have
the
to deal
army
damage
tree
for
wasn't
healing.
that bad.
Like, which is like one thing that I've noticed in other games. It's like the healers are usually, at the beginning at least, always the women. And you know, this is a stigma that can be broken with, and Borderlands just never did it.
And that's
outright.
that's what's great about Gearbox just in general, and any other games. They are very inclusive for everyone.
Mhm.
You know, LGBT.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everything. They're so inclusive with every men, women, and it doesn't matter. So
Mhm.
That's actually something that did really well. Talking about things that they did really well. Here's a question, another one. What's something that you guys, you gals, should be praised that the Borderlands series did right. That can be both in terms of like representation, gameplay, how they did it, release schedule, leaks, whatever. Like, what do you think should be outright praised that maybe is not heard often about?
Just like just how many guns are in the game, because yeah, we have, I know Hollow is gonna say the exact same thing.
Just say it in unison together.
Yeah,
Like,
so
1, 2, 3.
yeah, but just the fact that, like, yes, there's a lot of guns, like they say billions of guns because one gun could have 100 variations, but the
I could
fact of the
go
matter is
different builds.
they have just so many different guns. Doing the hunt just proves how many guns. There was way more points and legendaries in Borderlands 3 than there was in like Borderlands 2 and stuff like that. So for me, I think they do the looting, shooting, or shooting, looting, schluter thing so well, better than any game out there.
Obviously agreeing with everything, because this is how this interview is going today, it seems. Adding on to, because they have done so well with the looter shooter aspect, a lot of other games have actually taken Borderlands as inspiration for their own. Specifically, for those of you who haven't played Gunfire Reborn yet, their
It's a
elements.
great game.
Oh, it's
Oh,
so much fun.
it's
So much
amazing.
guns are
so much
similar.
fun. But
I
they
love it.
cite in their about kind of thing, and it's on the recommended games if you've played this one, like Borderlands, Risk of Rain, right there, right next to each other. And it's just, I love seeing so many other games take inspiration from games that have been done right by the developers. So yeah, gunplay is amazing. Gearbox has done an outstanding job.
All right. So I have one more question for you now. So if you were to prepare a dinner for one chosen character from whole the series, who would it be and what would you prepare?
Well, I have this saying, when I play marbles on stream. For anybody who's seen marbles on stream, you can literally yeet off the track. So enjoy a trip to the Yeaterlands. Get some skag meat along the way. I would serve skag kebabs to Amara because she is my favorite vault hunter, and Amara strikes me as a person that would try anything at least once, and if it's good, she's probably going to keep eating it. So yeah, skag kebabs for me, with various succulent vegetables or whatever you want to throw on top of it.
Vegetables in Pandora, unheard of.
Well, I mean, succulents, you can only go so far.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
I think that well, Maya's my girl. She's my favorite vault hunter. And I think that I would find like the rarest enemy in Borderlands, like whether it be the shiny, what's the little dinosaur dude, shiny something, like he like rarely spawns. He's not a rare spawn. He's the gosh,
3,
it's on Eden 6.
2? Oh, Eden 6.
Shiny something. It's one of this little dinosaur dude. What are they called?
I forgot. Oh no.
Oh my god. See, I'm trying to like think on the fly and I'm forgetting. Anyways, so like you find like an enemy that just like has like a loot tank, or like which I don't want to serve her. Yeah, chubby skag. I would literally find a chubby skag, for instance. And the grogs. Yeah, the shiny grog. That's what it was. Yeah. So like I would find like a shiny grog, and then I'd find like a chubby skag, and I would have like a 5-course or 7-course meal of all like the most rare enemies that you can find, and then I would prepare them like just perfectly, and then I would give her the best meal of her life, because it's short.
So you'd make like a Borderlands poo platter, essentially.
Yes.
Well, That's
Yes.
quite a big meal considering how much you like snacks. I was expecting some kind of I'm gonna make him some snacks, not like full course meal here.
We swapped.
Okay,
Fine.
okay, good. The variety, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
different
sound
answers
like
this time.
All right. I want to thank you so much for tonight for this lovely interview. It was very fun, and I'm very glad to have you both here. So before we wrap up, I want to ask if you want to say any highs, shout outs, say hi to your mom or any other friends here. Tell us where you can find us. Of course, on the site here on this site, you guys have all the links to the Twitch and Twitter to follow both of our wonderful guests tonight. And I would like to hear if you want to say something more before we wrap up. Maybe hello first.
Sure.
Hi.
First of all, big shout out to Kraft, who has been insanely supportive, and I literally could not ask for a better significant other to support me along this journey. And then a massive, massive shout out to everyone in the Borderlands community that just is so supportive when you don't have to be, when you have your own issues and your own problems to deal with, and you still show up to all of our streams, not just mine, but to everybody's. You're very active in the community, and I think I speak for everyone on this screen right now when we say we love you guys, you know, and we just want to keep doing what we do for y'all. So yeah, you guys can find me on twitch.tv/hologaming, as well as on Twitter, Holo on Twitch. Eventually we'll get that changed. Don't know when. Maybe it'll happen eventually, but yeah.
Thank you. And Mystique?
Yeah. So, kind of playing off of Hollow, my significant other is amazing and supports me, and I would not be able to do full-time streaming without him. He's probably not in chat because he's a very like hands-off everything. Like he's probably out in the living room playing Outriders or watching Batman right now. But he's still there. He still supports me. He goes and gets me Taco Bell before stream, even though like I had 45 minutes to get my hair done and eat Taco Bell, and he's just amazing. So, and then of course, like everyone in my community, you know, you're amazing. You're wonderful. Everyone in the Borderlands community is amazing and wonderful. You guys are the reason why we're here. We are doing this because you love it, and we love it, and we want to share things that we love with you. All the new people that are just now finding us, welcome. It is a hell of a ride here in the Borderlands community. A hell of a ride. So buckle up because there's even more. There's so much more coming with Borderlands, and it's gonna be awesome.
Really, what, a year and a half in?
Huh?
So we're only a year and a half in?
Yeah, only a year and a half in, and I think we've got another couple years, I would say, before we see anything else on a new game. So we're just gonna keep getting better and better. So, but you can find me. It's everything's the same. Mystique Siren. Mystique is spelled like X-Men, and it's said Mystique. A lot of people call me Mystic, but it's Mystique Siren. MYSTIQUE SIREN, and it's that on everything. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all of it. So just type in Mystique Siren, you'll probably find me on Google. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that's it. And I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much for being here. For those who didn't catch us in time, we'll post the VOD shortly on our YouTube channel as well, which will show up shortly in the chat as well, in the link. Thank you, Dirtizzle. And thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you to everyone who joined us today in the chat. It was a very lovely interview. And in 2 weeks, of course, we see you all guys again. In a week, we'll announce another 2 guests, another lovely guests. Can't wait to do that, of course. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much to everyone. And have a great weekend. And see you later. Bye. Thanks.
Bye.